Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we've got Steve who's popped up for a lesson, ain't you?
I have, mate, yeah.
And you're struggling with your driver.
Yes, the typical, right.
You've got a little bit of a slice. So before we actually get into lesson, what we've said, you're using the ping driver, is it?
Ping driver, yeah.
He's using a standard ping driver. And I thought, what a good opportunity to test the SF the straight flight technology ping driver against your standard one. See if it improves your starting direction and your finishing point.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're going to pop up in studio, we're going to have a look at that. But remember, Steve has come for a lesson today, so if this driver doesn't fix it, we are going to be having a lesson anyway. And we can also discuss on whether, you know, it's better value to have buy a new driver or, you know, have a lesson. We'll get into that. So we're up in studio. You've just had a little bit of a warm-up, haven't you?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
And, you know, true to your word, you've got the bit of a slice that you've described.
Yeah.
And, you know, I remember, Steve, I remember your username coming up when you've been commenting on my videos, but when I put a face to you, and I remember, I actually sold you your first ever package, didn't I?
That's right, yeah.
You bought a set of Nikes off me, and it looks like you've upgraded your equipment already, and you got some pings, which are looking good.
I think it's obviously the fact of feeling comfortable with someone as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, you come for a lesson, you don't know someone, and I think it's a lot better when you know them. If you get to know someone through, obviously, the videos and that, a genuine guy, you think that's why I've come.
Well, I think this is going to be a great video because Steve's using the Ping G5 10.5 regular, but it's just a standard head. I'll put some close-ups of this in. It was a great driver in its time, and it still is. And it'll be interesting to see if the SF can help you or not.
Yeah.
It might not cure your slice, but we're going to see if it'll minimise your slice, because some subscribers, Steve, can't, you know, have golf lessons. You know, they haven't got access to golf pros and things like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to look for equipment to help, and it might not be the G425 or the G430 that you buy, the latest version. You can get an SF I think the backdate back to about, trying to think, G400 I think did an SF so they're around about £150, so they're within people's price point. So we're going to do this test, we're going to see how you go with it, but you know, Steve has come for a lesson today, and regardless of what happens during testing this drive, you're going to be having a golf lesson as well, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll try and sort that slice out through his swing, because you have got access to a pro. So we're going to start off by getting you to hit 5 or 6 balls with your driver, just to give us a base point, and then we're going to put an SF in your hand, just to sort of educate subscribers on whether, you know, changing the driver could help. So I think the SF is probably I'm just saying this because I used to fit at American Golf, and I think it's one of the very best anti-slice drivers there is.
Yeah.
I don't think it always gets that credit because they don't market it as an anti-slice driver so much. So, you know, let's see.
Brilliant.
Right, when you're ready then, Steve, if you can give us your best 5 or 6 drives. We'll go 6.
Just 6, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
How long have you actually been playing now? It's not been that long, has it?
No, about a year and a bit. I used to play before, but it's been a year, I reckon.
Yeah.
Now.
What has surprised me from looking at Steve, you know, as he warms up, is how consistent his strike is. You know, you're really quite good at hitting the centre of the club. So you've got good hand-eye coordination, but as you can see already, you know, he's got that little bit of a slice. And
I'd just like to, I know it sounds daft, but
yeah,
take that out a little bit and you enjoy the game more.
We're definitely going to be able to help Steve today, because from what I've seen so far, just like most handicap or newer golfers, is you don't set up very differently, you know, compared to your irons.
No,
you know, so
it's the same.
You've got a similar sort of setup to what you'd play like a 7-iron, and I'll explain why when we come to do a lesson later on. You know, why that's encouraging you to fade the ball.
See, I felt that on the bottom more.
Whenever you've got a consistency like this, so it's not such a bad thing, you know, because it's all going the same. So if we can sort your swing out, we could get you to the driver a lot straighter and consistent. The great thing is Steve repeats things well. Have you been beating some of your mates already?
Yes, mate. It's been on trying a regular basis, but we're working everything.
It's just there in front of the screen. You might find as well, are some of your mates like inconsistent where they miss both ways?
No, some of them are really good.
Are they?
Yeah. There's a guy that we play with that's...
He's got to say that because he's on camera and they'll probably be watching. He's being careful what he says, isn't he? Because he's going to get some stick when he turns up for the weekend. Yeah.
But there's a couple of guys. One's an ex-professional footballer.
Yeah.
But for some unknown reason, he's really good.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know why, but they all seem to be all footballers.
I think ex-footballers do transition well into golf.
Yeah,
don't
they do. Yeah, and he's brilliant. But the thing that you get is when you go to the course with someone that's playing really well.
Yeah.
You hit a bad shot, it kind of upsets you a little bit, where you're like, why am I doing that?
Yeah. Is there any of your mates then who think they're better than they are? Are you going to out them?
Yeah, they are, all of them. All of them. Mark Jones.
Where's that?
Says one at back here.
Shot 5. You've been consistent. They're going to be good sort of results, these. There's no anomalies to sort of take out here. That one's quite good, actually. That one's a little bit straighter, isn't it?
Yeah.
We'll leave it in there, obviously. It shows that you can hit a straight shot, but you just don't know how you did it.
No, that's the thing. I was like, I want somebody did exactly the same, so I'm looking for T again.
Right, we're going to switch over, guys. We're going to get the SF Tech. It's the latest driver. It's the Ping G430. But as I said, you don't necessarily have to buy this particular model. The SF Tech is available in older models as well.
Yep.
We're going to put a regular shaft in there like what you've got. I keep messaging Kel Brook. I'm trying to get him to get involved with golf.
All right, okay.
Because obviously he's probably at a loose end now. He's retired.
Yeah.
And
Has he not got back to you?
He hasn't. No, I mean, I've got a couple of friends that know him. I think they're going to probably try and have a word with him. But I just think, like, what a sport to get yourself in when you're retired in sort of like boxing or cricket or any competitive sport. I don't think a lot of them sportsmen appreciate like how good golf is, not just just mentally. To have 4 hours with your mates out on a golf course, but it's just breaking that barrier and getting them in. I mean, you can imagine a boxing guy is probably not thinking of golf, is he?
No, exactly. He's probably out running or something more.
Yeah, probably thinks it's a bit of a Ponzi game, but we'll keep messaging him, see if we can get hold of him. He might not be interested, but we'll give it a go. Oh, I need to switch it on here. And the beauty of this machine is it doesn't lie. So what we'll do, we'll plot the 6 balls. We'll get 2 little clusters of balls with each driver, and we'll be able to see. And this is not fitted. I've just put the same shaft in as what Steve's got in his current driver, the same loft. And I keep having a glance at some of his numbers, and he's launching it. He's not too far away from 10.5 actually. I think if you were to be fitted for a driver, you would probably be around 10.5.
10.5, anyway.
Maybe 10, something like that. But you could save someone quite a few pounds. If you're mates with Steve, will you get him a bag of teas, please?
I was going to say, yeah. I've got loads of teas.
He's scrambling around for this one tea every shot. Is he as tight as this hit bar as well?
No, I'm not. It's normally my round.
Is it?
Every time.
He's had to get that one in, hasn't he?
Got that one in. That was off the bottom.
We've got him laughing. I'll take that one out. That were an anomaly.
That way.
That's because I've got him laughing. I've got him thinking about buying a round. That's what it were.
Panics.
He can't stand up. That'll better. You got through it that time.
Because you obviously panicking me about buying a round. Everybody's going to jump on me.
Yeah, that'll be it, won't it, when you turn up at golf club. But don't worry, I'll put this out in a couple of weeks. I'll put it out after the next payday.
After the next one, yeah, that's all right then.
Shot.
It's taking it out a bit, isn't it?
Well, yeah, we'll have a look. I mean, probably, if I'm going to be honest with you, it's not as much as I expected.
Yeah.
For a £500 driver. But we'll let these guys decide. Let these get in the comments. And
can you just edit that bit as well when you say 500, just in case my missus clicks on it? The 500.
So guys, just been having a look at them results, and they're not really what I were expecting. You know, what it's showing is that Steve's current driver, the G5, it's launching really low. Right. So when you're hitting it well, it's actually going further than the G430. But what it's doing, it's imparting more side spin on the ball. Right, so that's why when you open the club face, it's missing further to the right. You can see with the cluster from the G430, they're much nearer the target line, but then they're not imparting as much side spin. So that's the reason, because there's a little bit more, it's creating more backspin, which helps keep the ball straight. So I feel like, I'm not quite sure whether it's the SF Tech that's helping you, or it's just the fact that your driver's not really the right spec. You could do with something with a little bit more loft on, which might mean that you lose a tad of distance, but it makes you straighter. Right, okay. So I think in your case, in personally your case, I think the lesson's the most important thing here. Right. I think the lesson's the most important thing. We get you swinging a little bit better, and then maybe look to invest in a driver, you know, around a bit better swing. But certainly just going and buying the G430 or any SF Tech driver would help, Steve, minimally. You know, it's going to keep you straighter. Yeah. But then I think you might become a bit dissatisfied on the fact that you've lost a little bit of distance, which, you know, nobody likes to sacrifice, do they?
That's it. Yeah, it's true.
But, you know, I think in conclusion, guys, you know, the SF Tech, it does demonstrate that it reduces side spin, so it is keeping the ball straighter to your target line. Yeah. But I think more important than what it's demonstrated to us is that your driver's probably not right. Yeah. And that's probably why, you know, the results are probably worse. If we got your driver fitted for you, then I think the difference would be a lot less.
Would be a lot less, yeah.
But in this case, it's showing that the G430 or the SF Tech driver is straighter, but it's not quite as long. And that's probably more the fact that your driver's set up for, you know,
someone else.
Really good shots. If you catch it well, it's going to go a long way, and if you don't, it's going to go a long way offline. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed that video. It's a real honest review and test, and we're going to sort of finish off with a lesson now, and hopefully get you swinging your driver a bit better, and then coming back to treat yourself to no one when Mrs. is not watching.
Not watching. So there's no divorce before we got married.
Yeah. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed that one, and we'll see you in a few days' time. Bye.
Cheers.